Good morning, people of the cardboard, and welcome back to Fun Decks. I should say good, very early morning. I woke up because I knew they were doing this OCG live stream, and I wanted to comment on the new cards as soon as they came out. So forgive me, my voice is sounding a little hoarse. Still in the process of waking up. This is also really cool because Konami actually brought on a scientist to talk about some of the cards. And FYI, Konami, technically, I am a scientist. Yes, I have a PhD in dueling. So if you need someone, hit me up. But I think this is pretty exciting. I actually looked into these cards while I was waiting for the live stream to finish. So I'm excited to get into it. Obviously, if you like this up-to-date reporting type of Yu-Gi-Oh content, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into it. So we're starting off with Magnet Warriors. So I actually looked into Magnet Warriors recently because I felt like, we got that V-Jump promo reveal, and I wasn't really sure where it fit in the context of the deck, so I looked more into it. I have a better idea of how the deck functions, aka it does not, but hopefully this changes that. All right, so we have, I think, like 2 to 3 main deck, extract monster, and then a spell. All right, so this is Magnet Warrior Magnet Telursion. All right, it's level 8. Okay, interesting. They don't actually have, I think, Magnet Warrior level 8s. They're Magno Warriors. Oh, yes. You can see Magno Warrior. I assume this is going to be the official name. Anyway, it's attack 25, defense 25. Yeah, and it is a level 8 rock. Cannot be normal summon set. Must be from your graveyard by banishing one Magnet Warrior Sigma Plus and Magnet Warrior Sigma Minus from your hand, face of field, or graveyard. Interesting, okay. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it, or if it was an Earth monster activated, you can take control of a monster instead. Okay, awesome. And then during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you contribute this card special up to 2 of your banished Magnet Warrior Sigmas monsters. All right. So obviously this is going to depend a lot on the Sigma monsters we'll get into. But I will say, I don't love that this is kind out the rest of the Magnet Warriors. I mean, the deck itself had some cool plays, and the fact that you can't like banish Magnet Warriors, like just in general summon it, it's kind of meh. And it's also weird because the whole taking effect requires your opponent to activate a effect, right? If it was just, if a card, if an effect was activated, you can pop it, or if it's an earth, you can take whatever monster. That's fine. This is just a weird thing that basically you can take your opponent's monster if it was an earth. But regardless, I mean, it is an eruption. It is a Ghost Ogre type effect, and it can apply to any card from effect. So that's kind of cool. And you can, because this activates not just on card effect, it just, effect activation is cards. Unlike Ghost Ogre, you can use this to pop a field spell on activation, for example. So that is nice. And hopefully these Sigma monsters have effects that activate or at least during your opponent's turn, because then this could be an interesting interruption. All right, so this is Magnet Warrior Sigma Plus. It's a level 4 Earth Rock. So this one is nice because Magnet Warriors can summon out level 4 Magnet Warriors very easily. So attack 18, defense 15. You only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. All monsters your opponent controls must attack if able while you control an Earth monster. Fine. You choose the attack target for your opponent's attacks while they control an Earth monster. Okay, I'm guessing they're going to have something to change your opponent monster into Earth. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one level 4 lower Magnet Warrior in your graveyard. Accept this. Add to your hand special. Okay, this is actually a big deal. This is cool because I think they show it, and I didn't notice before. So this is a picture of, I believe it's Conduction Warrior. Not technically Magnet Warrior, but it's fine because it's not searchable anyway. But it's level 7 that can summon itself from the hand by sending 2 Magnet Warriors from your deck to the graveyard. I think they have to be level 4 lower. So the cool part about this is that you could send the new, I think it was a Mega Plus V-Jump promo we got, and it could pop this to summon itself from the graveyard. But now you don't have to worry about this because you can send this and any other Magnet Warrior and revive stuff from graveyard. So this is actually a really, really cool card. I like that. I don't know if there's any other methods of sending it during your opponent's turn, but let's keep reading. Then we have Magnet Warrior Sigma Minus. So this is Earth Rock, level 4, attack 15, defense 18, so reverse stats of plus. That's cute. You only use the first and second effects of this card name Each one turn, you can reveal this card in your hand. Fusion someone, fusion monster from your extract using rock monsters from your hand and or field, including this card in your hand. This is pretty cool. This doesn't help any of the previous Magnet Warriors because none of them would actually use this in hand. So I don't know why they had to do this. This is a huge bummer because what the deck needed was a fusion spell. They gave it one, but they made it so you can't actually get into the existing Magnet Warrior fusion monster. It required both of the level 8 Magnet Warriors. It was an Omni Negate. It was the one good card Magnet Warriors had, and this doesn't help you with that. All right, fine. If this is normal or special summon, you can send one level 8 Magnet Warrior from your deck to the graveyard. All right, cute. And then once per turn, when an attack is declared between 2 Earth monsters, you can negate that attack. All right, cool. Obviously, some is going to turn something to Earth, which is a cool floodgate if we can, depending on the type it is. All right, so clearly the play here is all you need to do is send this, like the new conduction card can send it, but you send this card and this card together, and then this one can be added back to your hand if you want to go for fusion summon, or you can summon this yourself, and then in which case you can send the Magnet Warrior, the new level 8 Magnet Warrior. All right. And then we have Conduction Night Plasma Magnum. Interesting, okay? So this is level 7 Earth Rock Fusion, attack 23, defense 28. That's weird. This is weaker attack-wise than the main deck monsters find. Takes any 2 rock monsters. Oh, wow, cool. Generic. Obviously set you up against Super Poly. This deck never gets good. All right, you can only use the first and third effect of this card's name once per turn. So if this is fusion summoned, you can add 1 magnet, normal, quick play, or field spin protect your hand. All right, cool. Magnet Warriors actually have a couple interesting spells and traps. Check out, check out Just Nuts. They did a whole Magnet Warrior thing before they retired. They actually made some custom cards and they go over what cards exist. So I would give that a look, see if I were you. But yeah, they have a couple interesting things. And monsters field become Earth. All right, here's how we do it. That's cute. This is actually not bad floodgate, and I like that they give it a monster, so it's pretty easy to out. But it does hurt decks like Yummy, which need light beasts, so they need to be both. Anyway, you can send 1 level 8 Magnet Warrior monster from your deck to the graveyard immediately at this curve. Resolves normal summon 1 level 4 lower Magnet Warrior. All right, cool. So this is cute. It's kind of interesting how it conflicts, but basically you would add this. You would use, if you can send, use that level 7 Conduction Warrior, summon it by sending the 2 Sigmas to your graveyard. Use their effect of this one plus to summon it. Okay. So use this card's effect to add back the Sigma minus. Use Sigma minus effect to fuse with the Conduction Warrior and this card. Send both the graveyard. On summon, you can add a spell, but then you can also send the level 8, which you can then use summon by banishing your 2. And then it basically means that you have a quick effect take during your punch turn, which is nifty because it becomes an Earth monster. And then you contribute this to summon the 2 out. And of course, this could now be used to, there's some conflict here on this. You can use this to send something else on someone, and then this card can do something else. If you want to tag out and everything's Earth, you can control attacks and you can negate attacks. All right, cool. Not quite that amazing interruption, but let's see if this quick play does anything. So this is magnet bonding. Quick play spell card. During your main phase, activate one of these effects. You can only use each effect once per turn. Add 1 Conduction Warrior, layer Magnet plus minus, that's a new card, or level 4 lower Magnet Warrior from your deck to your hand. Cool. Add 1 level 8 Magnet Warrior monster from your deck to your hand, or Fusion Zone Rock, Fusion monster from your deck, shoveling rock monster from your hand, field, graveyard, and or banishment into the deck. This is good. This is actually really, really nice. First of all, you can always go into this card, which is just searching on someone, and it is a floodgate, so it is. I mean, it does something during your opponent's turn, which is fine. Not the best interruption, but it's actually kind of cool because I think the goal here, theoretically, is that you can use your fusion monster, search this out, and then set up to do a fusion summon your opponent's turn into your boss monster because you can send a Magnet Warrior from your deck to the graveyard, which is pretty cool. You do need a Magnet Warrior to be able to, like, I believe you would need to be able to actually activate this effect, so you'll need to be able to do the normal summon. But this is cool. I think this is this is the best support Magnet Warrior has gone ever. And that's really sad, but it's true. You can do a lot with the deck because you're level 3 Magnet Warriors, which I think the electromagnets, I think you still might play because it just isn't quite enough to cut them out. the cool part about this is that this card constantly is full of chains, so you never actually have to summon them. It means that the other level 8 Magna Warriors you use for your boss fusion monster, the Omni Negate, it means that you don't ever need to summon them. They are bricks, obviously, but this card means you can actually fusion summon using them into your new boss monster, which is cool. I also like that you can, worst comes to worst, use them as fusion material, for example, with this card, to go into your new level 8, which seems to be a starter. I like this a lot. I think it's still a little clunky. There's still some issues I have with the deck. I don't know why they you can either get the one Lyra Magnum plus minus that isn't a starter to your hand, right? It doesn't do, if I'm reading correctly. Oh no, this is, oh, never mind. I believe if I'm right, let me double check this. Yes, all right, okay, never mind. Let me restate. So this is your starter. This is your main starter for the deck, and now they've given a Searcher for it, which is great, or any other Magnet Warrior level 4 or lower. This card is the one that you can send 2 Magnet Warriors from your deck to the graveyard, just summon it out, and then if it's destroyed by card effect, it adds itself to your hand. So this is an awesome card to get your combos going. So I think they've actually really bumped up the consistency. I was hoping this would do something, like a yummy surprise, and the fusion summon kind of is that. But I'd love it if they gave it more. If you can, because Magnet Warriors actually have several pop effects. If it was just target a Magnet Warrior control and a card your opponent controls, pop both of them, that would be cool, especially because you have a lot of tagging out effects of Magnet Warriors. But fine, I think this is pretty cool support, and it makes the deck probably not meta, but at least somewhat playable, and some people can experiment for a rock pile. Anyway, let's keep going. We have lots more cards to look at. All right, so the next archetype they support was Springans, and this was actually big because Springans has been ignored by, for all the different archetypes in the Alpha lore, Springans was the most ignored. They gave Springans Kit, which was a non-machine card, was the last support for the deck, and just didn't even work with Springans that well. And unlike any of the other, lore cards that kind of blended namings, Springans never got anything that worked with them. So let's hope these cards change that. All right. So this is Tri-Brigade Springans Kit. All right. So this really isn't, it's another Springans name, but it's not a machine. Fine. I'm a little irritated, but maybe it's effective something. So it's attack 17, defense 1,000. You only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If you control Tri-Brigade or Springans monster other than Tri-Brigade Springans Kit, you can special summon this card from him. Fine, it's an extender, that's something. If this card is sent to graveyard, you can special summon one of these from your graveyard except Tri-Brigade's Kit, Tri-Brigade, Springans, or Fallen Abbot or a monster that mentioned it. All right. So this is actually really cool. I think this is a much bigger Tri-Brigade card, obviously. They have so many methods of sending cards, like Nerval or Kara's dump Nerval. This can search this, but you can also dump this now, which is cool because you can revive back a Tri-Brigade monster from graveyard. Or you can go, actually, I think what you could do is go send Kit, send Spriggan's Kit, and the Spriggan's Kit revives original Kit. That sounds crazy, but it's definitely a play you can do. It's nice that it's extender. I think this is actually really good, and it works on being sent at all. You also have the Spriggan's level 4 monster on summon sends something. Sends a Spriggan's card. So if you could summon this, use as material for that, send a Spriggan's name, detach this, I think is part of its effect, which is, or just get rid of it. So this goes graveyard, you can revive back your Spriggan's monster. So, okay, I'm seeing the plays, I'm seeing the lines. I like this card. All right, this is Gung Ho Spriggan, so it's not Tally Ho. It's a fire machine, rank 4, attack 25, defense 16. I'm pretty disappointed because the previous rank 4 Spriggan's monster is one of the few generic rank 4s that actually fit within the RB restriction, machine with 1500 lesser attack, and so this doesn't. So, it's worth it. Okay. The previous one was also generic. This one's not. It's 2 or more level 4 Spriggan's monster. You only use the first and second effect of this card's name per turn, and once that turn, if this card exceeds summoned you or sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Spriggan's Captain Sargus from your deck or graveyard. This is cute. I'm trying to think of the context where this would come up. I technically is an extract monster that mentions Fallen of Alabas, so you may be able to send it off of that. I think it's worthwhile to look into for the deck. But you can detach 2 materials from this card, add your hand special summon one of these from your deck, a Spriggan's Theon or Fallen Alves. All right, so it's cute. I'm trying to think how this works. So on summon, you can basically summon in a Sargass. So I think theoretically, where this would see some plays, if you want to summon this, let me. Sorry, I was looking at BS because I had time. Spoiler alert. Let's go. Golganda. Let's go. Of course, this is going to be some not an actual card. Never mind. I wanted to see if the Golganda was technically exceed summon or special summon. I think it might be a special summon because I know the cards can't be revived. But this is actually pretty nifty. I think this definitely could see play in the deck mostly because even if you summon this, cheat this out with Golganda, you can actually, and maybe it doesn't trigger. That's fine. You can use this as material to go into, is it the Therion King Sargass rank 8 that can search Therion cards and Spriggan cards. So theoretically, what would go up to that is that you can detach this to summon the Sargass, which can then use either attach to that or detach it as material, which gives you additional pop. So I think this is cool. I mean, this isn't enough, I believe, to make Spriggans relevant, and ultimately, I think this is going to be more of a tool for, either Alvaz or this is cool. I see. Sorry, I thought this was Tribegate for a second, but I think this is cool in terms of Spriggans can now use this again to Therion cards more directly, and you can get into multiple of them. So I think there's cute plays that can be done with this. I think it's interesting. I think honestly, Tri-Brigade Spriggans Kit is just going to see more play. The new Tri-Brigade stuff we got in the last set was pretty nice, and I think this can help tie that together. I'm just disappointed they keep ignoring Spriggans. That's my one take. All right, only a few more left. I know this has been a very long video, but I'll try to blaze through it. So this is Topologic Blaster Dragon. So this is a new Link 5 Cyber's Dark Monster. It's attack 3500, and its arrows, as you can see, go top, left, middle, and right, and then bottom, left and right as well. All right. So it takes 2 or more effect monsters, so completely generic, which is cool. You can only special summon set monsters to the extra monster zone this card points to. I'm a little confused about this. Oh, you cannot special. Oh, sorry, you cannot. All right, so that's second only. This is just because they don't want you I'm going to call it V-linking. Cheating. Any card that has arrows here and here could theoretically go from one EMZ to the other. I think Konami needs to abandon this idea. It's not that big of a deal. If it does shut out some decks, who cares? Links are not what they once were. All right, so if a monster is special summoned to a zone a link monster points to while this card is in the EMZ, apply one of these effects. Also, you cannot apply the same effect of this card again for the rest of the turn. All right, so, and that's basically if your opponent summons to any of the 3 zones they block, or you can proc this yourself. So 1, shuffle all monsters on the field into the deck except this card. Ooh, shuffle spell traps in deck into the deck. Okay, and then look at your opponent's extra deck and banish one card from. This is cool. I like this. So Topologic cards are like this. I think shuffling deck is a really nice form of removal. Bomber Dragon or Trispania, I think the one that banishes Link 4, I think is nice too. It has a cool attacking effect and whatnot. And banishing all cards, it's just nice. This is still cool. I think there's a lot you can do with this. You can still motivate your opponent to not summon into it. And you can proc this yourself. And doing this in 2 waves is pretty cool too. So you could go and hit all spell traps if you wanted to, and then banish the field, or go for the EMZ if you want. What's cool too is that kind of the issue with this card is you were always saying it as M-board piece because there's no benefit of going into it to your turn, right? Or proccing it during your turn for any of the other ones. This one's cool because you can just summon to get an extra deck rip, and you can do this multiple times, just not on the same turn. So this is actually a big deal. I think people are going to really dislike this. Cybers is a pretty powerful, slop deck. And so if they can proc this just, going first, even to rip a card from the extra deck and then do it again during your opponent's turn, I think this could be a little unfair. But it is a Link 5, so I guess that balances it. I think this is very, very powerful. All right, and so I think last, if I let me double check, make sure. Um, yeah, I think the last cards we got support for here are the new BES cards. So BES, I looked through them all. Every single card stock, so they kind of have to revamp the entire archetype. And let's see if they do that. All right, so this is Vic Viper Type L. So not a BS card, but it's related. It's a based off video Konami owns. It's a light machine, attack 12, defense 8, level 4. You only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. At the start of your battle phase, you can one of these effects, special summon one machine monster from your hand. All right, Q. Send one level 4 or lower light machine monster from your deck to the graveyard. Ooh, that's interesting. All right, and then if this card is destroyed, you can target one light machine monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and if its original attack is 1200 or less, it gains 1200 attack. All right, this is supposed to support, I think, the gradius cards. I like this as just being a generic foolish. I don't like, or generic, I like this as a foolish for light machine monsters. I don't like that this is at your battle phase, so it's completely worthless going first. It's only good going second, and if you were ever proccing this effect, your opponent better have nothing, in which case you should win the game, and this card doesn't even help you do that. Not a good card. It's really frustrating. All right, so this is BES Dellinger Core. All right, so it's a light level 10 machine. Oh, okay, that's cool. That has some plays. Attack 19, defense 3k. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. It can reveal one of the BES monsters in your hand, special summon from your hand, this card from your hand, and then place 3 counters on it. Okay, that's not great. And during your main phase quick effect, you remove 1 counter from this card, then activate one of these effects. Add 1 boss rush or 1 spell trap that mentions it from your deck to your hand, and special summon 1 level 9 or lower BS monster from your graveyard. All right, so this is, I'm terrible summoning action. It's really frustrating, and you have to summon it using the condition or any of the BS cheating methods in order to get counters. Technically, you don't have to. So the card you're searching, there's a field spell that searches boss rush on activation, but I believe it also has an effect that you can, let me, you know what, I'm going to go back to this. So this is the field spell. So you can add, luckily it's a can, so you don't need to play boss first if you want to. And so you can special summon a BS monster from your hand with this card, and it plays a counter on it. So theoretically, what you can do is summon this without having to use its summon condition in case you don't have the BS monster, and you can still use it to search. That's cute. And you can only use it once per turn, but you can do it during both players' turns, theoretically, but you don't have a good monster to summon. Then you have, BS Metal. Definitely going to change the name of the TCG. It's a level 11 Dark Machine. Attack 31, defense 31. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. You can send up to 5 level 10 or lower BS monsters with different names from your hand and or deck to the graveyard. Wow, special summon this card from your hand, then place counters on it equal to the number of cards sent to the graveyard to act this effect. All right, cool. And it doesn't actually say monsters, but obviously if it's level 10 or lower, 5. So you can get up to 5 counters. And then once per chain, quick, if I can remove 1 counter from this card, then target 2 face-up cards in the field, including a BS monster you control, destroy them. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. So this basically means you basically get a pop, a weird sacrificial trident pop. Okay, I'm really confused about this because it doesn't help you get any other BS name. So basically what it's doing is it's, at best, you can, interesting. I'm also curious about this once per chain. It's just a quick effect, I guess, but doesn't have to actually, I don't think it has to chain. You can just use this whenever. So cute. So theoretically, you can pop as long as you're popping multiple cards. I'm really disappointed because there aren't too many BS cards that can protect themselves that you'd want to summon, and none that summon themselves from the graveyard. So maybe this last card really ties it together. This is Boss on Parade. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. When this result, add 1 BS monster from your deck to your hand. All right, it's a Stratos or a 10 key for the deck. Awesome. Once per turn, you can destroy 1 monster on your hand or field, and if you do special summon 1 light machine monsters with 100 attack and 1000 defense. sorry, 1,000 or less defense from your deck to either field. That's interesting. I'd have to actually check the database to see if there's any other interesting targets. It is interesting too. It gives it to your opponent. I know a couple of the BS cards are like Cyber Dragon, so giving your opponent's cards isn't the end of the world. And then you can banish this card from your graveyard, place one Boss Rush from your deck or graveyard face up on your field. And in case you're curious, Boss Rush does nothing. It blocks you off normal summon your setting. Cool. And then end phase of the turn, that BS monster or big core was destroyed into the graveyard, you can special summon from your deck. So it's interesting now. It's cute. And then the field spell, I didn't mention this. Your opponent can't target your BS monsters, and they can't be destroyed by their card effects. Still battle and everything else, but makes them in the mini towers. And then every time one's summoned, it's cool. I think the weird part about this to me, I think this is cute, and I like having searchers. This card's obviously your big boss monster. You don't have great ways of summoning or searching cards. I don't see the point of this card, like this can't even be searched up by this guy for some reason. I don't know why they give him the big. I also don't know why they called him Metal Slave. That's just a weird thing. They gave this big moss monster. It's pretty nifty, but you have no in archetype methods of setting up its effect besides just popping itself. So theoretically, it is generic if you want to play a BES monster. This is basically just a Trident. Yeah, it's not bad. It's definitely, I think, something to consider as an M board piece for many decks. I just question why. Is this really what you want to be doing with your life? This is also just weird because this isn't BES, so I don't quite understand what's going on there. Like why they want to support the gradius archetype now and all this. But fine. If you can't tell by my voice, I'm very disappointed. I mean, these cards have been bad, and so it's nice that they're staying on theme, but I was just hoping they would, do more with this archetype. Like this card, Battle Phase only, is just meh. This card itself, it actually has promise, but its summon condition is one of the most restrictive. Honestly, if they swap summon conditions, I think there could be something going on here. But I'm just disappointed with this. I guess this one does summon from graveyard. So the idea is that somehow you have to open up both of these cards, summon this from your hand, summon give it, I guess, 3 counters. Cool. All right. Actually, let me suspend my disbelief for a second. So this card can theoretically get your searcher. So this card, which can then add a BS monster. So arguably, you need this card, the new level 10 one, and a BS monster, any other name, okay? This card could be it, or it could be something else. Summon this card, use it during its effect, remove a counter to get a spell trap that mentions Boss Rush. So that's this card. Yes, okay, thank God. I was like, it does mention Boss Rush, right? Get this card. Use it to add a different BS monster, maybe your level 10, which you can then summon inherently with its own effect. And then now you have 2 cards during your opponent's turn. You can go, during your opponent's turn, you can go and use this effect to revive one of the BS monsters in your graveyard. And then you would theoretically have 2 pops. Now, fun fact, I looked through all the BS cards. I don't think there's a single monster that has interruption during your opponent's turn outside of these. So, I'm not super thrilled by this. I do think it's something I'm going to consider. I know it's weird. I'll look into it just to see what targets they have for this because this feels pretty generic. Maybe there's something interesting there. But based off this 1,000 attack or less, I'm sensing Konami was smart enough to rule out any good cards. But I think it's worth exploring. In total, I think BS cards are kind of a wash. This card is probably the most impactful because it's just generic. And I think any deck that can spam Link monsters will consider going into this because ripping a card from the extract is huge against certain decks. Like Yummy, they're usually only playing a couple of the synchro monsters. And I think usually one of the Book of Moon, one of the double searcher. So just removing one of those can really shut down their plays, right? If you get rid of the double searcher, the synchro, I think it's the synchro cupsy, your opponent, like the Sky Striker line, does nothing because they use that to get their combos started by searching. So that'd be great. These cards, this will be big for Tri Brigade. Springans, sorry, they're not getting any good support anytime soon. And then the Magnet Warriors are fine. I think it's worth exploring, but honestly, without having access to Block Dragon, rock decks are just in a weird state. Also, Emancipator, which is the other rock deck, they really need a lot of synchro cards that, like Baron, that have been hit. So I think this will be interesting. I think this is probably the only competitively relevant card that I see. And then this one maybe close second. The Magnet Warriors and BS, probably a wash. I'm a little disappointed. I'm sadly going to be considering this, but let me know what you think is interesting. If there's anything you want me to look into, if you want me to check out what targets this has to send or what targets this has to summon from deck, let me know. Any day. Anyway, this is probably my longest video, hopefully ever. But without further ado, it's Fundex signing out. Please subscribe and bye.